Welcome back, everybody, to the Have You Heard podcast, the only music podcast where we talk about the music, but only sometimes. I'm Pablo, and today we will be taking a look at The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pablo, this is a music review podcast, not a video game podcast. And to that I say, can it? I like video games, okay? Is that allowed? Am I allowed to have hobbies other than entertaining you rats? And also, this is not really a full review per se. I just wanted to take some time to talk about the new Zelda, as well as comparing its different aspects to Breath of the Wild in ways that I was pleased and displeased with. I don't want this to be an end-all, be-all on my opinion on this game. I more so just wanted to start a discussion about it, because the Zelda franchise has meant a lot to me for quite some time. Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time. That doesn't make me, any kind of professional who's qualified to speak about video games. Because I'm sure you could find any 20-something-year-old man incapable of growing facial hair with the same thoughts as me. But I just wanted to state that so you guys can get an idea on how excited I was for this game. I canceled plans for this game, okay? Ryan, I don't know if you remember Ryan, he's a dear friend of the show. He made plans for us to hang out together on the day of the game's release. And I said, "Ooh, I can't make it. I'm sick or I have to work or something." And he believed it like a chump. And I got to play the game all day. Just so we're clear, that's not true. Entirely. But anyway, I was hyped for this game. That's the point. But why? Let me take you to Pablo's History Corner for history that you most likely lived and possibly were a part of. When Breath of the Wild released, it changed how I view video games. It was revolutionary in so many aspects, but especially with its open world and sense of exploration and discovery. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, you could really go just about anywhere in this absolutely massive map full of life and different biomes and villages. Discovering the towers and unlocking the map, completing all the shrine puzzles, side quests, main quests, Korok seeds, memories, this game was massive. The one thing that this game boasted a lot about was its freedom for the players. You could do anything in any order you wanted after the tutorial, including fighting the final boss, completing dungeons, shrines. You get it, there's a lot of shit. I'm just trying to hype this game up a lot for foreshadowing. You'll get it later. I finished Breath of the Wild and later its amazing DLC and thought nothing could top that. A lot of people thought the same, but it didn't stop Nintendo from trying. At E3 2019, Nintendo announced that development had begun on the sequel for Breath of the Wild. The internet, myself included, exploded with excitement. The bar was set, the stakes were high, and imaginations were running wild. Years later, with multiple delays, we finally got it, Tears of the Kingdom. Many publications said it was a masterpiece, even better than its predecessor. Needless to say, I was pumped. One pre-order and delivery of bad news to Ryan later, and I got to play the game. First off, let's start with the good. And there are going to be some minor spoilers in this that are mostly about gameplay, so if you want to go completely blind to the game, you may want to skip this for now. Good stuff. It's more Zelda. The combat's great. New abilities are great. Story is okay. I thought the ending was sweet, although there's one part that just seems convenient to say the least. Like right at the end. The rest of the story, like when you're talking to the... maybe I shouldn't say what I'm going to say. When you do the dungeons, the story is kind of boring. Not boring, just not good. I'll say it. Shit, I feel like a lot of people online have been like, this is really lazy writing, and I wholeheartedly agree. I really like the new lands, the sky, and the depths especially. One thing that I wasn't a huge fan of in Breath of the Wild was there was no way of finding where the shrines are. You just had to look. For me, this just ended up with me Googling where they were. With the depths, however, every light route reflects where a shrine is on the overworld, excluding the sky shrines. This way, you could just explore the depths until you saw a glowing ball in the distance, activate it, and then know roughly where shrines would be above you. I managed to find almost all of the shrines in Eldin and Gerudo Desert this way. Doing this changed how exploration was done for me. I also liked a lot of the caves the game has to offer, acting like mini dungeons in a way. That's pretty much all I want to say positively about this game because I don't want to give too much away. I think that this game is better experienced than lectured. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. But I have many gripes with this game, and they all stem from being the follow-up for Breath of the Wild. Firstly, just a mini side tangent. There are seriously barely any references to Breath of the Wild, and it just sucks ass. The game has become so important to me, and to see its sequel literally take no time to explore it just pisses me off so much. The Shrine of Resurrection is totally different. All the original shrines are gone. There are hardly any mention of the Sheikah tribe. Freaking no guardians, like of any kind. They basically just hit Control F on the game and removed all mentions of Sheikah and used the Zonai as explanations for everything else. Even Breath of the Wild's original champions, where are they? They hardly even get mentioned. It just pissed me off so much to see this game expect you to have played Breath of the Wild first in many aspects, yet makes no efforts to bridge gaps between their stories. Now, what do I mean by these aspects of needing to play Breath of the Wild first? Well, let's talk about it alongside discussing motivation in video games. Breath of the Wild giving its players freedom was a unique choice, but it also motivated them. Your mission in the game is to save Zelda, and with the option to fight the final boss at any point, it motivates the players to strengthen themselves so that they can save her. Even though there is nothing stopping them from starting the fight immediately, I still chose to complete the dungeons and most shrines so that I could prepare myself for the fight to save her. This is a concept I'm borrowing from a Nakey Jakey video, but basically in Breath of the Wild, the quest of saving Zelda is always in the back of your mind. At any point, a player may stop and ask what they're doing, and the answer is that they are working towards saving Zelda. Personally, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom just doesn't have this same feeling or motivation. Sure, you're given the quest of finding Princess Zelda, but at some point in the game, you figure out where she is, and you're just like, okay, now what? And you get more closure of finding her at the ending, but it doesn't change the fact that once you do the memories or get the Master Sword, you figure out where Zelda is before the game has a chance to catch up to you. I also felt the same way with the fact that the game doesn't tell you where Ganon actually is. Apparently, you're still able to fight Ganon right from the start of the game, but he's a lot harder to get to, and you aren't told where he is until you complete a main quest line in the depths. Another sense of lost motivation I felt in the game was with the dungeons. In Breath of the Wild, Impa points you to seek out the Divine Beasts along with sharing their lore to the story and why they will be important to defeating Ganon. This makes players excited to go after them because they understand the need for them and they become motivated to go to their respective regions. In Tears of the Kingdom, this was completely lost on me. After the tutorial island, you make your way to Lookout Landing and Pura is just like, some wacky stuff has apparently been happening in these 4 regions of the map. You should maybe go check those out. It completely took me out of the experience, and I had no motivation to do so, which is why I literally did everything before completing all of those main quests. I feel like no one has pointed out the lazy writing here because we're just used to it. Everyone playing this game probably played Breath of the Wild. They know what to expect, and they're excited to do it all over again. But I don't think a game should rely on positive past experiences to get people riled up for new ones. I'm giving you all a heads up right now. I'm about to go on a huge tangent about an analogy that may be a little confusing. So please strap in. If you are like me when you're watching a video or listening to something and something just changes where you really need to give a lot of brain power to understanding what is being said, you don't notice until it's too late. So I'm giving you this warning now. If you are hearing this, strap in because I went crazy writing this. So, for example, let's say you go to a restaurant and get a burger, and it's the best burger you've ever had. You can go back to the restaurant and have that same burger, and it's still great, but you feel like you've seen all that the burger has to offer. So then the restaurant announces that they will be making a new burger, and everyone loses it. And you're excited too, of course, because you loved their last burger. The burger comes out, and everyone is loving it. People are saying it was better than the last burger, and that's coming from people who loved the last burger. So you go to the restaurant, you order the burger, and this thing is beautiful. It's got a big juicy patty, ooey gooey cheese, tomato, lettuce, pickles, onion rings, and egg. Everything but the goddamn kitchen sink is on this burger, and you are excited to dive in. But the bun is like just a Wonder Bread bun, and it's soaking wet. So you call over the waiter, and you ask about it, and the waiter says it's the sequel to the last burger that you love so much, now with more delicious toppings and better meat. And you say, yeah, that looks good, but a big reason I loved the last burger was that it had a nice toasted potato bun that I was excited to bite into. This sopping wet bun does not interest me at all. And the waiter goes, well, just eat the other things. The patty allows for new innovations in gameplay, and the toppings have introduced new armor pieces. And you respond, that doesn't really make sense in this analogy I'm doing, but despite that, the bun is kind of the main part for me. If I didn't want a bun, I would have ordered a steak or something, but I wanted a burger. The waiter just kind of shrugs and says, enjoy your meal. You realize that avoiding the bun is your best bet, and what do you know, the rest of the burger is still really good. You got the Korok lettuce, the tomato sword, the Angus ultra hand patty. It all works really well, but it doesn't feel like a complete burger without the bun, guiding you along as you eat. If that analogy made any sense to you, I believe you're entitled to financial compensation, but I hope that some of you understood what I was saying and it didn't fly right over everyone's heads. My point still stands. This burger of a video game needs a goddamn bun to bite into, and these 4 main quests are not doing this game justice. Everyone on the internet has already ripped the dungeons to shreds, so I won't just add wood to the fire for no reason, because honestly, they didn't piss me off all that much. What did piss me off were the ways in which the game rewards you for tasks. Let's talk about 3 big accomplishments this game has to offer and the rewards that come with them. Discovering all the light roots, finding all of the memories, and completing all of the shrines. Of course, I could talk about finding all the Korok seeds. I chose not to because I didn't do it, so I'm not that angry about it, but I think we all know what the reward is for that if you played Breath of the Wild. That's why I didn't do it. And also, I just didn't really need to. But anyway. Discovering all of the light routes wasn't insanely difficult, especially if you're using a hover bike or another efficient form of transportation. But it's still quite a feat. Finding all of the light routes gives you jack shit. Seriously, it gives you a medal that stays in your key items tab. Just a massive waste of time. The bigger picture here, I suppose, is that having the depths map unlocked is the real reward, but come on, seriously? Now, what I think would have been a better reward would be to allow for gloom hearts to be regenerated in the depths, but that would be too much to ask, I suppose. The next task is finding all the memories. This is also not insanely difficult, and the reward is unlocking the true ending. Now, this may sound like a reward, but it's actually a punishment because holy shit, the true ending in this game is 6 minutes long and incredibly boring. Breath of the Wild's true ending was only 2 minutes, and it was fine. Why did I need to see this stupid cutscene? Genuinely, if you've seen the cutscene, I implore you to answer. Did you give literally a single shit about what happened in it? Because I did not. Oh my god. I couldn't stand it. This last one is genuinely upsetting to me, so stay with me. Completing all of the shrines gives you the biggest slap in the face of a reward, maybe ever. In Breath of the Wild, completing all of the shrines got you the Armor of the Wild, which gave Link his more traditional look of a green tunic, hat, and his slutty little short shorts. It was nice, it was fun, and it looked good. In Tears of the Kingdom, you get this ugly ass armor that is probably the strongest in the game, but it looks so fucking ugly, I cannot use it in good conscience. Oh my goodness. I really wish I could talk about what the fuck it is, but I don't want to spoil it, because I think if you are playing the game, you need to experience this for yourself. This episode has been incredibly negative, I know, but it just hurts to see a game that I do still really enjoy miss the mark on so many things. So many of the missions were tons of fun. The game has improved in lots of ways from the original. Fusing and using Ultra Hand and the other abilities are really fun. Oh my god, the new enemies, Gleeoks. Oh, I love the Gleeok fight so much. But damn it, I need a burger bun with this burger, and I need some dessert for eating it all too, damn it. I'm sure that the DLC dessert we get is going to be phenomenal, and I look forward to it immensely. I hope you guys enjoyed this change of pace. This has been the Have You Heard podcast. I'm Pablo, and I'll see you when I see you.